Hi, I'm Chris Haran. In January of 2019, we were able to launch the Cross-Platform Interoperability Work Group at RESO. Its mission was to focus on bringing technological systems together through standards to better serve our real estate practitioners of our industry. So at RESO, with our work group being over a year old, it was time to bring in a vice chair, someone to help shepherd our work group to the next level to really help bring interoperability forward. Catharine has been a longtime attendee of our work groups and of many other work groups at RESO. Catharine, I'd love it if you could share why you thought interoperability was so important to you and your business and your clients, and how that translates to everyone else in the industry.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you so much. We were so excited to discover the Real Estate Standards Organization. All of a sudden, on a dark path forward where there were over 800 MLSs, and then with this trend of regionalization, there are now 630, but that is still 630 sets of rules and regulations, and then brokers and agents who deal in those places. And our current end consumer, who's someone who's either renting or buying or wanting to sell their home, they're speaking to an international audience. Maybe they're moving from one state to another state or one country to another country. And it's really hard to serve those people if the systems that agents and brokers and MLSs are using don't speak to one another.
You had some really specific pain points that you noticed in that process for that seller, for that listing agreement. Could you tell me a little bit more about those and describe some of those pain points and some of those frictions that you were finding as you were starting to diagram that process?
Yes. When I sat down to just take what we thought would be a simple use case scenario, we thought we'd take a seller or a buyer and walk through the process. And actually in our work group, some of the members in the group specifically mentioned that doing a use case would be an excellent way to kind of discover these pain points. So Chris, you and I both sat down, and then I mapped out the seller journey and you mapped out the buyer journey. And every time I sat down to do it, what I realized is that there are so many almost choose your own adventure stories. And depending on what next step a person chose, it might touch one system or a different system. And if those systems didn't speak, you would have chosen a path that leads to a dead end.
And it's not just technology vendors who have created those platforms. Many brokerages have started to create their own proprietary platforms. And all of them are struggling with the same thing, which is we want to use the system we chose, and the person on the other side wants to use the system they chose. So how do we make that work while still keeping it secure and efficient and easy for everyone involved?
So I think that this map and defining the players, the stakeholders, and the parts that need to come together to make this whole work is really just that. We are looking at making a map that will allow technology to become invisible, for technology to actually work well behind the scenes, so that the only thing that's happening is a frictionless, easy experience for the players that have adopted the technologies that they've chosen for various reasons. Sometimes it's cost, sometimes it's efficiency. But this map that we're building takes what might be wheels and cogs and technical diagrams and makes an end-to-end seamless consumer experience, regardless of transaction management platform. How transaction management platforms benefit by taking part in this dialogue is they continue to serve the clients that they already have. They get a bleeding edge insight on the pain points that exist in systems outside their own and how their system might meet another system. And if two separate systems can make their systems talk to each other, they are serving their own best needs by keeping the clients they have.
So if you like having deep philosophical conversations about how to change the industry while also digging in and getting your hands dirty with how to create standards, Join us every second Tuesday of the month at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, Catharine, not only for joining the conversation with me today, but for helping me toe the rope in the group going forward. I want to thank all of our dedicated RESO Cross-Platform Interoperability Work Group members who join us every single month. And if you can't make the meetings, we definitely invite you to join us in the conversation on our message boards on Confluence, or you can always reach out to Catharine or myself. Thank you all.